Hi YouTube, it's me, Robert Holloway, and I want to make a video response to Erik Thor in one of his videos called Spotting an INFJ by Facial Expressions. Now, watching this video, I have to admit, first off, that Erik, if you're watching this video, I just have to say you are so cute. I mean, I know you're straight, but still, I just have to put that in here. But in your video, spotting an INFJ by facial expressions, I would have to agree with what you said. I mean, it's easy to pinpoint an INFJ by his facial or her facial expressions. But most of the expressions that I've noticed personally is that, like, the eyebrows will rise if they're talking to somebody or trying to be social. Note I said trying to be social, because it is a tedious thing to be social. But I also noticed that most INFJs or INFPs, for that matter, they'll have their eyes kind of like sleepy. Now, I have to think of the past to provoke some of these facial expressions, because it's hard to fake it. But, like, for example, I found that when I'm listening to other people and their story, I don't really listen to what they're saying. I kind of like read their vibration. And sometimes I do this with my hands. I can't do it with both of my hands because one of my hands is holding the phone. But we do the end quotes. That's one way you could tell from an INFJ, because they usually have difficulty finding the right word when they're trying to explain themselves. So they try to find like an alternative word for what they're trying to say. And I've just noticed that with other INFJs and myself. I mean, I looked at some of my old videos, and I do that. And another thing too is the wrinkle in the forehead too, because the INFJs, I mean, we're feeling types, which the F represents, but I kinda don't think so. I mean, we go by feelings, yes, but we think a lot. Like they say, we overthink things, and that is the truth. Another thing that I notice is that we bite our lips or we cover our mouth, because sometimes we want to say something, but we know it's going to hurt somebody's feelings. So we have a tendency to bite our tongues or bite our lips, or cover our lips. And it's because sometimes the people we're listening to, they're rather lying, exaggerating, or they're making something up. They're being hypocritical in what they're saying. They're saying one thing but doing something different. And in that case, our face becomes like this, or something similar to it. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Whatever you say. Go. That's how we respond. I mean, we want to let other people know that we're listening to them, but truth be told, we're not really listening. If anything, we're listening to our gut intuition, our 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 thoughts. We're listening to our thoughts. So while people talk on and on and on, saying, "Well, I believe in unicorns. I used to ride one," we're like, is this you trying to be interesting? Because it's not working. But we won't say that. Instead, we'll bite our lips and or tongue to a point where we're tasting blood. And another thing I noticed too about the INFJ's facial expressions is that our eyes will look like we're dazed. Like, like it looks like we're not really interested in what you're having to say, especially if somebody else is obviously making something up or lying. Oh, if somebody is lying, we'll or sometimes I notice we do this. So I mean, it's just these. I'm just thinking of a certain person, Trump. Excuse me, that lies a lot. That whenever we watch them, we get these facial expressions, and whenever somebody lies, Trump. Excuse me, we make these facial expressions basically because we can pinpoint somebody that is lying. I mean, it's so obvious that it shocks us. It shocks me to realize that not everybody noticed this stuff. Yet we allow ourselves to become victims of toxic people. See, that facial right there that I just made, that's regret. And that's what happens when we think about the past. That's why we don't think about the past. We always think about the future. It's like the future is where our memories are at. That's why we have a tendency to predict the future. Although we don't say what's in the future because we know we're likely to be wrong. But the thing is, we're not wrong. We're just not using the right words. So I guess we might as well use the quotation hands. So, like I said, I just finished watching your video. Here you are on my TV. And I just have to say, even as your facial expression is showing, that's a typical INFJ. I mean, like I said, your eyes are kind of slanted, like you're trying to tell a fact, but you're not sure how you're delivering it. And that's a common facial expression too, especially among INFJs. And like I noticed in I am not good with names, but some of these INFJs, especially the underdeveloped ones, they're easy to get these facial expressions. But thank you for watching my videos and have a great life. Bye.